Let's go to Joe. He's going to defend himself here. And get a load of this. He's on Fox News with Jane Skinner, okay? She's going to do a pretty decent job of challenging him. Nicely done. Maybe Shep Smith is spreading ideas throughout Fox News. Let's go to clip number 3.
I want to get your reaction to what Leader Reid had to say there. He says you will work with Democrats once this thing gets to the floor.
Well, I'll work with Democrats, I'll work with Republicans, and I hope we can all work together to get some health care reform done because we need it. But I'm not going to vote for health care reform that either stifles the economic recovery that we need to start creating jobs again, or that increases the debt, which is out of sight right now for our country. And to me, the public option threatens both. This is a new entitlement program. And the taxpayers and the premium payers are going to end up paying for it, or else the debt's going to go higher, and that's just the wrong thing to do now. So I just felt if I believe that, it was time for me to say it.
Senator, supporters of this government-run health insurance say that your economic argument really makes no sense because the public option, they say, would actually lower costs because it would exert pressure on private insurance out there.
I don't agree, and here's why. Here's why. I don't agree because if the public option, the government-run health insurance company, negotiates hard to lower the reimbursement, the money it's paying to hospitals, doctors, they're going to have to get that money somewhere, and where they're going to get it is from the 200 million Americans who today have private health insurance. Premiums will go up. It's exactly what's happened with Medicare and Medicaid. With this new entitlement, new government-run health care program. It's just not worth the risk, and it's not necessary to reform health insurance, which we need to do. When people hear public option, I think they think it's for free. It's not for free. Somebody's going to have to pay for it, and you can bet it's going to be the taxpayers and the people who pay health insurance premiums now.
That was just an enormous bucket of lies. I'm going to break that apart in a second. But did you notice that part in the middle where she challenged him and he was like, and he paused and then he repeated himself and he tried to collect himself? He's like, wait a minute, I thought I was on Fox News. What the hell just happened there, right? So nice job, Jane Skinner. And his answer was terrible. First, he said, we're going to increase the debt. The Congressional Budget Office says we're going to lower the debt if we do a public option by up to $100 billion. So you're flat out making up stuff. Congressional Budget Office is nonpartisan. And when the Republicans like what they say, they say, oh, Congressional Budget Office, Congressional Budget Office. They are truly nonpartisan. Both sides agree to that. So, Joe, you're lying. Public option reduces the debt, does not increase the debt. Flat out lie. Okay? Then he goes to, well, you know, the premiums are going to go up. Why would the premiums go up? The public option says, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to use government leverage to get better prices from all those healthcare providers. And we're not going to spend money on marketing. We're not going to spend money on executive compensation, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously the premiums are going to be lower. Almost every single expert in the field agrees to that. And then not only will it be lower for the public option, but in order to compete, the private guys have to lower their rates to compete with the public option. So to say that the premiums would be higher is absolute nonsense, unjustifiable. And then towards the end, he said, people think that this is going to be free. It's not going to be free. The government's going to have to pay for it. I mean, that's a lie that's so over the top. Nobody said the public option is free. The public option is paid by premiums. If I hold a policy that I got as part of the public option, I pay a premium for it, just like I would with a private option, with private insurance. So he creates a straw man that doesn't exist, and then he says, well, the government will have to pay for it. It's not subsidized. That's, again, 100% lie. And then he says, you see what happened with Medicare and Medicaid, and the premiums went up for everybody. No, they didn't. That's why people like Medicare and Medicaid. Whose premiums went up? Oh, really? You think the premiums went up because of Medicare or Medicaid? Why don't you try to take it away, Joe? See what happens. And by the way, if you didn't know this, it's not like he hasn't tried. Joe McCain, when George Bush tried to privatize Social Security, you know, the Democrats went ballistic. Joe Lieberman never objected to it. And then when John McCain ran for president and suggested privatizing Social Security, Joe Lieberman said it was a good idea. So you're going to trust Joe Lieberman? Please. All of the health insurance companies, not all, a lot of the health insurance companies are in Connecticut. They pay him. They've been paying him for years and years, decades. That's why he cares about this. Now, shockingly enough, the Fox News anchor is going to ask him about that. His reaction to that is also priceless. Clip number 4.
And speaking of your home state of Connecticut, I don't have to tell you what the critics are saying, that Connecticut is home to so many insurance companies. In general, about 72 headquarters. Those are not all healthcare insurance companies. That's what's driving your opposition to this, that you've got that constituency back home and those potential campaign dollars.
Well, I mean, that's insulting. It's also just not right. I've said all along that I support tougher regulation of insurance companies. I've said I support the removal of the antitrust exemption for insurance companies. Hey, when I was Attorney General of Connecticut, I sued the Connecticut insurance companies. So I'm
like
for
30 years ago.
Sensible regulation. But this would be the first time in the history of our country that when you think an industry is not playing fair, the answer to that is not to regulate, but to have the government create a company to compete with that industry. I mean, that would be, you know, a lot of people are unhappy about gas prices being charged at gasoline stations. Nobody suggests that the government take over the gas stations or open up their own competitive gas stations. I just think it makes no sense, and it's not the way our economy has grown in the past and created jobs. So bottom line, no. I'm doing this because I think it's right, and I hope people will respect me for that.
Yeah, well, your hope is misplaced. We do not respect you for that, and I love that answer. I find that insulting, to think that a politician might do something for the money. But you know what? He doesn't get to ask that question very often because they're scared to death of offending these senators. But you got to ask him that question. Great job by Jane Skinner. Really great job in asking what I think is an obvious question, but it doesn't get asked that often. And then his answer is comical. The government competing with private industry. When has that ever happened in America? How about when Medicare said we're going to provide insurance, health insurance, for everybody over 65? I mean, you're a joke, Lieberman. You're an absolute joke. And then you can find 100 instances. You know what? For example, if you want to deliver a package or a letter or something across the country, you could do it with UPS. You could do it with FedEx. Or wait a minute, you could do it with the post office. Huh. When has that ever happened in the history of the United States of America? What a pathetic liar you are, Lieberman.